Remember the time when men used to go to war for women? When men literally in war would stop and send letters to the women they loved? When they would show up with dozens of roses? Whatever happened to that? You happened. As much as I would like to blame every single thing on the guys in college today, turns out you and I have as much of a role in how we're being treated as anybody else. And why princess treatment is now treated like a privilege when it was at one time just the bare minimum. You'll be surprised that men love making their girls happy. They like going out of their way for her. If you're like the old me, you're probably thinking, no, you're wrong. Men just want to be treated like a princess now, but that is not true. You have to understand the dominant energy in men, the masculine energy, it is literally the energy of a go-getter. It's the planner, it's the one that likes to chase and accomplish. You are quite literally a reward for him, but only when you do certain things certain way, which is exactly what I'll be sharing with you in this video. I stayed single, went through my own patterns with guys, and after collecting all that data from my own experience along with reading a lot of books on this topic, I have come up with this guide to help you get back your birthright, that is princess treatment. First step, de-center men. Have you noticed how the guys that you couldn't care less about are literally trying to give you the world while the ones that you actually want could not care less? It's because men like the feeling of chasing, of pursuing. The ones you don't like, they sense that detachment within you, and that is why now you are a reward for them that they must go and get. You might counter me by saying, but I don't really show anybody when I like them. I always act detached and I always play these games, but your energy tells more about you than your words ever will. Detachment is quite literally an energy. You cannot just fake it. Even if on the surface you're trying to act indifferent, you're trying to act chill, your energy tells a different story. Which is also why once you start dating the guy that you didn't even want in the first place, suddenly he starts taking you for granted. Because the chase is over. So what's the solution then? Never let the chase end. The second he feels like now he has you completely, he has you on the tips of his fingers, he gets bored. He starts looking for the next chase. The next chase could be somebody else. The next chase could be playfully messing with your boundaries to see how far you can go. But how do you continue the chase? It's very simple. Have a life outside of him. This isn't about playing games. If you're not replying to him intentionally to give him the chase, but you're on your phone scrolling, that is not detachment. But if your girlfriends call you for a last-minute shopping date while you're on a call with him, excuse yourself, go on the date, and spend every single moment mindfully with your girlfriends instead of thinking about him. That's the chase. Stop sending him snaps of you every 5 minutes. This way he knows that he doesn't have your attention by default just because he is with you, but he actually has to earn it. He has to continuously work for it. If you want the guy to make you the center of attention, you first have to make yourself the center of attention, not him. Because the energy of obsession quite literally only travels one way at a time. So you get to choose which way you want it to go. Do you want to be the one obsessed or do you want him to be the one obsessed? Speaking of having a life, a pattern that I observed a lot of times within myself and with a lot of my girlfriends right before the guy pulled back is compromising on your life. He might like you because you're so passionate about your own life, about your own work. You're always busy working on your promotions or you're so mindfully invested in your craft. But as soon as he enters your life, you completely pick up his hobbies and abandon your own interests and your own life. Now you're going to watch his football game, you are learning how to play his favorite video game, you are trying to dress up in ways that he will like, you're on the treadmill, but you're still on a call with him, asking him to stay on call. You get the gist. So rule number 2 is to make him an addition in your ongoing life, not a replacement for it. If you have a class booked for yourself, that is your priority, not the movie tickets that he bought for you at the last moment. Tell him to reschedule because otherwise you're just training him to never value your work, your time. If you have a sleep routine, do not let him mess that up with late night calls. I know everybody likes them. I like them too. So over the weekend is fine. Once you start breaking your own values, your own principles, once you stop valuing your own time, your own work, you are quite literally showing him that you are no longer the girl that he fell for. So rule number 3, never make yourself fully available. Suppose he wants to hang out with you, but you've worked hard all week. You already have a dinner planned with your girlfriends that you planned very ahead of time, and you only have one Sunday and you want to rest at home and you want to gain back your energy. Tell him this week's not going to work. Every time you abandon your me time, your own time to accommodate him, his needs, you are quite literally teaching your brain that he comes first. And he ends up thinking that you had nothing better to do anyway. So he in turn stops even putting in the efforts that he used to. And if that makes you upset because you actually left a chill night at home to hang out with him and his bros while they play their video games and drink beer and gossip about everybody else, he'll actually think that you're nagging him instead of understand what you needed. Never abandon the plans you made for yourself just because he wanted to see you. It's not romantic, it's stupid. And if you do, under some circumstance, special circumstance, abandon your own plans for him, and he still does not make any effort, don't nag him, don't make a scene, don't pout. That's not gonna work. That's only gonna make him even more distant. Instead, just tell him you're tired and leave early. But I'll tell you more about this later. Rule number 4, expect good treatment, but do not act entitled. Men love to feel like the heroes of their damsel in distress, but not when the damsel says,
"Oh goody, look who finally showed up."
If he opens the door, pays the bills, plans the vacations for you, you and I know that's the bare minimum. But to him, he's doing something special and expects to be acknowledged for it. Think about it. They play these video games where they're always saving some princess from some tortured chamber. They want to feel like heroes for doing the bare minimum. That's just the truth. Don't start tearing up then and there and start crying on the street, telling him how he's the best man you've ever met just because he opened the door. But acknowledge it. Give an honest smile and say thank you. That's it. It's simple. Most of us, what we do is we either turn into our hyper-independent selves and tell the guy, I don't need you to open the door for me. Or we just straight up feel like this man is the best because he opened the door. You need a balance, girl. A gracious thank you is more than enough. And if he doesn't even do the bare minimum, again, don't start ranting. Simply just give him a look that says, really? Pause. Really? And pull back for a while. As a personal example, I once dated a guy who would never comment on my pictures because, in his words, he felt like he didn't want to compliment me when he knew I was expecting it. So what I got from that was that men don't like to do things for you when you're expecting them. They like to do things for you when you will be amazed and surprised, and they will in turn feel like such a man for doing something that is so basic. The main thing here is not to rush. If instead of giving him time to open the door, to get the bill, to plan the date, you always rush first to get the door, you always are too quick to get your cards out, or you give him an itinerary for a weekend date on a Monday, he'll never have to try. For once, give him the chance to act like a man. If he gifts you something, be grateful about the gesture. You can always exchange it later, and most likely he won't even realize it. But in the moment, if instead of being grateful, you tell him how you already have it or how you don't like the color, he will be discouraged to get you any more gifts. He will not feel appreciated. So in the moment, just make sure that he knows you're happy. Every time he does something that you want him to do more often, tell him that you appreciate it. It's simple as that, because you truly do appreciate it. Let him know that what he did made you happy. Rule number 5, ask for help. Just like women want to feel understood, men want to feel needed. Which is why when they're low, we listen, and when we're low, they give us practical solutions. Just remember, it does not take away from your independence if you let him do things for you. Let him carry the suitcase, let him get the groceries. Which brings me to my next point. When you find him getting lazy and not wanting to help you out at all, bring in a competition. If he won't help you pick up the suitcase, ask your competition. It can be the friendly neighbor or your guy best friend. Like I told you in the beginning, men love a good chase. So the second he feels like he might no longer be needed, he'll be back on his toes wanting to help you once again. But again, if you can literally not do a thing, he'll feel like it's a chore to help you out. But when you are independent enough to do everything on your own, but you still let him do things for you, that's when he feels like the man of the house. So just know how to do everything and then let him do it for you. Number 7, communicate like a man. In a book I read recently, the author mentioned how men often categorize women subconsciously into 2 categories, either the mother or the wife. Unfortunately, most women rush into the mother category. They'll nag, they'll put up rules, they'll keep complaining while still being available. Men just learn to tune out that noise and all that blabber. So if you actually want to be heard, you cannot possibly do that when you're being his mother, because he will stop hearing and he will definitely not want to woo his mom. He might stay because she's comfortable, because she's always there for him, but there's no guarantee that he won't be looking for the wifey. So the solution is simple. The next time something bothers you, pull back. When he asks, tell him straight to the point, and then let him fix it. There's no need to drag it on. Let's now take our old example of him asking you to come over when you were already interested in having a solo night in, and now you're there with him, but he's busy hanging out with his bros. Instead of making a scene over there and pouting and shutting yourself in a room, like I told you before, just tell him that you are kind of sleepy, you're tired, and you would like to go back home. You don't give him as much attention as you used to over the next couple of days because clearly he disappointed you. Again, this does not mean act cold just to show him that you're mad. Just be busy with your own life. Over the call, talk like him. One-word answers. To the point. And when he finally asks if something is wrong, instead of looking at that as your chance to finally let out all your pent-up emotions and start yapping about how hard you worked all week, how much you were looking forward to that solo night in, and how you left it all for him and still he did not even treat you nicely, took you for granted, and he treated you like your father and your ex used to make you feel, that's just noise to him. Just say, yeah, I thought that it would just be the two of us and you might have something better planned because you invited me on my day off. That's it. No other unnecessary trauma dumping, girl. Tell him what's wrong, let him fix it. If he doesn't, leave. That's clearly not the man for you. If he does that, he's shown you that the things that bother you are not important to him, and no matter how much you want to, you cannot nag senses into him or nag him into treating you better. Rule number 8, be secure. This is the most effective and yet the most difficult thing to do. See, secure women are always appealing because they're always a chase. They don't need you. They don't feel threatened by other women or try to bring other women down just to get your attention. And they have clear boundaries and clear goals that they are not willing to negotiate. The guy knows one wrong move and she's out. So he's always on his toes. He's always trying to please her. Remember, confidence is sexy. The next time he looks at a beautiful girl passing, just pretend like you didn't notice a thing, because no other girl is a threat to you. There's no competition. You know who you are, and that's enough. When you act like that, he'll be more enticed by you because even the most gorgeous women can be a turnoff when they're insecure, when they're always threatened by other people. This guy will think that if she's threatened by everybody else, maybe everybody else is better than her. Because why else would she be insecure? Last rule, rule number 9, only give what you get. I made the same mistake as so many of my girlfriends, so many of you, giving way too much before you ever receive the bare minimum. We are out here spending all our money trying to fix his life, spending all our time creating DIY gifts for him, while we are also so easily happy when he gives us a plucked flower, when he gives us the last candy that's been in his pocket for God knows how long. Really? That's your standard? No, thank you. Just remember, do not start giving too much at the beginning of a relationship because you are actually setting up your standards in the beginning of the relationship. And if you give too much before getting anything else, you've just taught him that he doesn't need to do anything to keep you. He can do the bare rest of minimums. He can get a shovel even for the bare minimum and yet still be there doing everything for him. And that way, he not only loses respect for you, he also does not see you as a chase anymore and you're no longer attractive. That also reminds me of this very important point. Do not get happy over the smallest of things. I know as women we are sensitive. As women we see everything as a sign of affection. Like I told you, getting a plucked flower can be a sign of affection. But for men, I think in my experience, it is more important to see things literally. How much effort does he put into things? Men will calculate how much you need and only give you that much. So make sure that you're not settling for the bare minimum simply because you're trying to look sensitive, just because you're trying to look like you're grateful. It's good to be grateful, but at the same time, you have to set your standards very well in advance in the relationship. Before the relationship even begins, don't rush into things. Take your time, understand the person, understand yourself and where you stand in this relationship, understand your needs for the relationship. Especially if you have a tendency to jump from relationship to relationship, you might just be repeating an entire pattern with a different person. So instead, stop, understand what are your requirements from life, what are your requirements from a relationship, what turns you on, what turns you off, what are your boundaries, how much are you willing to give into this relationship, and then you won't have to see videos like this ever again. Thank you so much for watching. If you feel like you keep repeating patterns in your own life, this is the video that you absolutely need to watch. It will tell you how sometimes when you repeat a pattern, it is not about the person, it is instead about you trying to recreate your past trauma and recreate your past pain in the name of love. I'm pretty sure that you will enjoy that video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss another video from me. I post every single week. I also have a podcast now and you can watch these episodes in audio format, listen to them on Spotify, on YouTube. That's all that's new. Thank you so much for watching once again. I appreciate you. Bye bye.